Welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to be talking about post frequency. Consistency is so important in this business. It's not only important to show that you'll show up for businesses, but consistency builds trust with your audience. And if you're uncomfortable with consistency at first, that's okay. But the more you do it, the more confidence you'll grow, and the more you'll fall into your own style of writing and be able to find key metrics for what works and what doesn't. You can be doing everything right, but if you aren't consistent, you're going to struggle. Consistency is showing up every day even when you don't feel like it. Now, it's okay, you don't have to be thinking of new ways to show content every single day. Feel free to go back, reuse old content, but it feels so good when you honor a commitment. And like I said before, this is a really good way to connect with your audience, build trust with them, and show brands that you have a genuine connection with them. If you're only posting once every few weeks or 2 or 3 times a month, how can brands feel like they can rely on you if they have a contract with you in order to post? It also shows that your audience really isn't that engaged with what you're posting in the first place if you're not posting very often. So that is why consistency is key. The more you do it, the more confident you'll grow. And like I said, the more you do it, the more you'll be able to learn and get key metrics on what works and what doesn't, and that is the best way for you guys to grow. Now, it's also really important to be consistent on all platforms. So this means be consistent on your stories, on IGTV, on Facebook, Pinterest, and your email. So this is called profile seeding, and it will actually give you algorithm favor because if the algorithm sees that you're constantly engaging and showing up for your audience and they're engaging with you, then it's going to show your content to more people, which is going to grow your profile, and it's also a really great way to upsell to brands, which we will talk about this later when we sell to brands, when we pitch. But for right now, I'm just explaining to you guys that you should be showing up everywhere. You want to be playing the big fish in a small pond. You want people to say, oh my gosh, how is she doing all of this? So, we'll get into how often should you be posting. So, on your stories, you want to be posting every single day. Now, for me, I usually take the weekends off just to have some time to myself where I'm not constantly on social media, but every day of the week you need to be showing up on your stories. Now, a few tips to help you get more views on your stories is to make them engaging. Use Instagram's little widgets, use the quizzes, the polls, all of that stuff. Instagram really likes to promote themselves, and obviously if they're seeing that your audience is engaging with your stories as opposed to just viewing them, it's going to show them to more people. I also find that when I post stories of myself talking and showing my face on there, I get so many replies from people because it allows you to connect on the next level, and you're not just giving them something to read or showing a pretty picture. You're showing yourself, you're being real, and that's a really great way to connect with your audience. So as far as posting goes, if you're posting quotes, memes, plus lifestyle photos, you can consider posting around 4 times a day. Now this is coming directly from Boss Babe, which I did her course earlier this year, and this is her sweet spot. Now she posts a lot of motivational quotes along with some lifestyle photos. But if you're just posting pictures of yourself and lifestyle photos, it's probably good to post once a day. You don't want to overwhelm your audience with photos of you. If you're showing up on people's feed 4 times a day, they might get a little tired of seeing your face. Now, for blogs or vlogs or videos, YouTube, IGTV, all of this is good once a week. You don't need to be showing up on these every single day, but once a week should be sufficient enough to grow your profile and keep the algorithm happy. So now we're going to go over a few tips to help with consistency. Write your captions ahead of time. When I first started this, I would always wait until the day I was posting to write the caption, and then a lot of the times I would get stuck up on what to write, and then I would miss the peak time, and then I just wouldn't post, and that's not a good way to be consistent. So if you take the time out of your day once a week to write your 5 days, 6 days, 7 days of captions, however much you're posting, like I said, I take the weekends off, but if you're someone who likes to post every day, Take one day out of the week, write your captions ahead of time so that you're ready and prepared to be posting consistently and you don't ever get stuck with writer's block. The next tip that helps is scheduling apps. So if you're out doing something a day, or you know you aren't going to have service, I found it's really helpful to use scheduling apps. I have been using Post Early and I absolutely love it. This was my go-to when we were in Southeast Asia, and a lot of the times we didn't have Wi-Fi, or the posting time was like 2 a.m. where we were, so I would be sleeping. So using scheduling apps is a really good way to help you stay consistent and show up for your audience. Planopoly is also a really good one. This one you can plan your feed as well. I think you have to pay for it though. I used to use this one, but I found that Post Early is just a lot easier to use. You can even add in the first comment. So I add the hashtags in my comments. So I use this feature to add the hashtags in the comments when I post, and that just makes it overall so much easier. You can also condense the work that you've already done. So if you have email subscription and you write an email out to people, you can condense that, make it into like a shorter caption, then share it on your story. Something that I do is before I send out an email to people, I always make a little graphic of it on Canva. I post it to my story. I say, if you want to receive this email, sign up to my email subscription, and then I put a little video showing them how to do it. So that's a really easy way to get more content out of one piece of content. And you can do this with blogs, you can do this with your vlogs, your videos. Just think of new ways that you can condense things, make them shorter, turn them into videos, promote them somewhere, so that you only have to create one piece of content that can be shared everywhere. You can also repurpose or reuse. I like to say repurpose because I feel like it sounds a lot better than reuse. But you can go back to your old posts. I've done this multiple times where I've just out of ideas for the week for captions. I'm drained. I don't know what to write. So I go back, way back, like 2 years before, find a caption. Maybe I'll change it. Maybe I'll elaborate on it, repost it. You can do this the same with your Pinterest posts. Pinterest is a great way to repurpose your old vlogs, blogs, anything, your photos on Instagram. We'll go over Pinterest later, but just think of ways that you can take something, one piece of content that you've already made, repurpose it on either another platform or reuse it. So the last way that I'm going to talk about is planning your feed. So having a consistent feed is really important because it shows your audience that you're reliable. It builds trust with them automatically. It's kind of like an unconscious thing happening, but when they see your photo pop up on their feed, they want to know that it's you right away. So planning out your feed ahead of time so that it's consistent will actually help you with your overall consistency, if that makes sense. So that's it for this lesson. I hope that was helpful. I hope you guys learned that consistency is key. And I challenge you this week to write your captions ahead of time, plan out the week ahead, post every single day, and I hope you can continue that for the rest of this course. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next lesson.